Hi guys, Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today what I'm going to show you guys is how to mix Arcusstone. You probably say, what is Arcusstone? Arcusstone was developed in Europe around 1960, I guess. It looks kind of like this Travertine tile. There are different colors of Travertine tile. My wife and I just love this stuff. It's full of pits and it looks really cool. The Arcustone, we can put this on 3/8 of an inch thick, but what I'm going to do, folks, is show you how to mix this, because mixing is underrated. It takes a lot of practice, and you've got to do it just right. So what you need first is a bucket, clean, very, very clean. And Arcustone recommends per bag 3.5 quarts of water. So of course I used a measuring cup, and I measured 3.5 cups of clean water, clean bucket. Here's another thing too. On a paddle, there's 10 different types of paddles. Better make sure that's clean too, because if you have a dirty paddle, it will accelerate it or retard it. Especially with interior plasters. You use those, and folks always call me and say, hey Kirk, I used that 20-minute mud before I got it in the house. It was set up. I said, you used the dirty buckets or dirty paddles. So that is very important. That's one of those underestimated things where people don't realize how important that is. I normally keep a 5-gallon bucket full of water. Why? So the drill doesn't tip over. It can stay in this bucket without tipping over. If you have half a bucket of water, it's going to fall over all the time. Water's going to go in the drill. Okay, what I originally just did is, with Arcustone, you mix it while you're drilling it. I poured half in here already, and we have a certain color that we use, because some of these colors are dark, and you pick out pretty much which ones you like. So this one's a little bit light, so we could darken ours up a little bit. Anyhow, so I'm going to start this drilling stuff. Now, here's what you do. You drill it, and you add it as you drill. For one person, it's kind of tough. Normally when my son is with me, he'll drill it up, and I'll add the material. But since I'm by myself, I'll just go ahead and add a little bit, pop it up on one knee, and put it in. Okay. And generally, guys, I'm usually wearing a mask, which is on the table there. But if I'm wearing a mask, I can't explain this. I haven't found a plaster, interior or exterior, that I like the taste of yet. And a lot of these materials, they tell you right on the bag, don't inhale it. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm mixing it for 3 to 5 minutes. After I mix it for 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to slack it. That means let it just set for about 15, and then mix it again for another minute and a half. If you make it too soupy, it won't set right. It won't come out. You can't trowel it. It's a real nightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and mix 3 minutes. Then we're going to turn that camera back on after we allow it to slack for 15, and I'll show you the consistency. It's going to be, see how it is right now, it's going to be much, much harder than that in 15 minutes, and then I re-temp it in order to apply it. It's got to be like butter or whipping cream in order to do what I have intended for it. Okay guys, here's another tip too. You take a trowel or a margin trowel, pipe trowel, long one, pull this out by the handle, tap it a couple times. I don't care what material you're mixing. Here's a good tip. You take this guy here and go around, because sometimes it sticks to the bucket. In fact, I can see a lot of it sticking to the bucket. That way, you get a really good mix and you don't get a bunch of clumps. And by the way, my wife said she's doing the filming here. She said I said 3.5 quarts, which is what they recommend. And then she said I said 3.5 cups. It is 3.5 quarts of water. Okay, so that little tip here, I'm going to mix it up for another minute. That'll be like 4 minutes. Then we're going to let it slack. I'll show you the consistency, what we've got right now. And this is very, very coarse. This cement right here is very coarse. And what is Arcusstone? It's pretty much crushed limestone. And then they put Portland cement in it. It's got a lot of bonding agents in it too, polymers. It's different from Arcustone plaster, so don't mistake the two. But this stuff sticks to everything. It's really, really good. Anyhow, well, I'm going to go ahead and continue, and then when it's slack for 15 minutes, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, we have let this set 15 minutes. Now, that's a lot better. So when we do my corners, it'll adhere well. That's getting better. It's stiffened up quite a bit. A lot of materials you have to slack or give it time. So now I'm going to take this drill out of here once more, and man, it's tough now. Okay, I've actually drilled this one. I'm doing two to make sure I have enough to complete that. And again, I'm going to drill this up for about 2 more minutes, let it sit, and I'll show you the final result of it. All right, guys, last thing I do is I'm going to shake this off right here and get all this material off. And remember, I said a full bucket of water. That way, if you leave this alone, I see guys do this all the time. They put it here and the whole bucket drops. It goes inside here when it's plugged in. Not good, guys. Anyhow, we just whip it up a couple times, reverse and forward, and that is how we clean this blade. I'm getting ready now. I'm going to go ahead and apply this, but YouTube won't allow these in really long videos, so I'm going to just call this one a day as far as how to mix. If you want to see how to apply it, you go to our stucco. You're probably already on our stucco plastering channel. My son has it, so that if you go into the search and just put how to apply Arcustone, you'll see me applying it. So as usual, we thank you folks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.